Man, I get that. It's about 9:20 a.m. on Friday morning, July 11th. I just had a very long conversation with my brother. I mean, we just check in with each other every now and then, and this week has been extremely challenging for me in the universe of just regulating my emotions, and mainly just the anger and the grief and the rage that I've been feeling. And I think, I mean, I've been in therapy. I got back into therapy for PTSD with a trauma specialist at the beginning of this year, and I've been working at that really, really hard. But it's a it's a roller coaster of a path, man. It's a roller coaster of a path, and I have a much improved ability to be aware of and identify and name, the emotions that I feel at this point. But I think it's kind of a direct response to this legislation being signed into law a week ago, understanding what's in that legislation, especially as it relates to ICE. Which I'll come back to that in a second. And just knowing as much as I can that we are entering phase two of Trump's second term. Everybody, and I think rightfully so, during the week leading up to last Friday when Trump signed this bill into law, focusing on the Medicaid cuts, the SNAP benefit cuts, and things along those lines. And that stuff is all going to be horrific, and it's going to destroy people's lives. But one of the overriding main concerns for me about that legislation is its transformation of ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, into the largest police force in the United States, probably the largest police force in the world. Its budget now exceeds that of the Israeli military. They're going to dramatically ramp up hiring by 10 or 20,000 new ICE agents, which is going to crater hiring standards. It's going to crater training time. It's going to crater the level of experience and institutional knowledge. ICE has never been wedded to the idea of law and order as it relates to American civilians, as an organization such as the FBI has been, imperfect history that it has. But just knowing that, Donald Trump is now going to have this massive, secret, masked police force operating in the shadows, and they answer only to him, and understanding as much as I can him and what he wants to do with that kind of power. We're building concentration camps in the United States in 2025. And understanding all of that and having these realizations about where we are headed in this country in that regard is terrifying. It's enraging. I'm overwhelmed with grief and anger and hate for these people and these ICE agents and what they're doing to immigrants and their families in this country. And this week, it was almost impossible. It was almost impossible for me to just be regulated in any way, shape, or form as it relates to my emotions. I haven't really slept that much in a week. I've been having violent nightmares, which that's new. I've got therapy later on today, which I'm very much looking forward to. But there is not one single component of me, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, they're all just completely drained and completely exhausted in every way, shape, and form. And, another part of it is, seeing videos of protests in San Francisco, and seeing these kids that are showing up to fight off these ICE agents and stuff is amazing. And, it, it's been really uncomfortable this week, and it's made me at times angrier, just kind of sitting with myself and kind of thinking and contemplating and asking myself, it's like, what am I willing to risk during this? What am I willing to risk? Sure, I'll go to a protest. I'll keep making my little videos. But what am I willing to risk in my life to fight against this stuff? And I don't know the answer to that yet, but I don't like where my head has been going with that. I don't know, man, because it's cliche to say it. These are scary, unprecedented times in recent modern history in the United States. And it's terrifying, and it's absolutely enraging, and everything that goes along with those things. But it's like, at the same time, I also know that I'm not any good to anybody else in any form or any context if I'm not regulating my emotions. And, and this week has just been unimaginably challenging in that regard. It's been really, really hard. It's been really hard. But yeah, exhaustion. And so I'm going to kind of try to keep a slow pace this weekend. My apartment looks like a bomb went off in it. So I'm going to do some housework at a casual pace and get my environment back to the way that I want it to be. Because that always helps me. When my apartment is nice and neat and orderly and tidy and everything's where it needs to be, that makes it easier for me to regulate my emotions, because I'm not staring at chaos, even if I'm feeling chaos inside. And so it's like, that's one little thing that I do just to kind of try to regulate my emotions. I clean my apartment. It helps every time, man. It really does. It helps every single time. Have a good weekend, everybody. Be safe.